Welcome to Sippin' with My Bitches with your hosts, Marissa and Nadia.
Welcome back, bitches. Welcome back, bitches. Welcome back, bitches.
Oh my god, that's so much better. I can't do that. How do you do that?
It's in the back of the throat. It's in the back of my throat. My name is Stitch.
Oh my god, you should be like a Stitch of boys. So for those of you,
Lola just face planted on the couch. For those of you guys who can't see her, that's why Arissa and I are laughing right now.
It's because the costume is way too big for her little legs.
So she's wearing a pink Stitch, like the Stitch's girlfriend's outfit, and she literally just face planted straight into the couch. That's why.
Talk to Lola in your Stitch outfit, please.
Lola, Hannah, it's me, Aunt Nadia. We're gonna go take over the world.
Nadia, that is so
punch bowl.
That's so good. Do you practice that?
Lilo and Stitch is actually one of my favorite movies. I'm not gonna lie.
I understand. It was one of my favorites growing up too. Hum on the way home. You know that song? It was so good. I want to learn the hula to that.
I want to learn too. Okay, so before we get into it, we should talk about how our week was. How was your week, Arissa? Anything new? Anything fun?
You know, it was a really fun weekend. On Friday, we had it was like a Rough Life TV art gallery. That was really fun. And then on Saturday, me and a girlfriend, we hung out. And then on Sunday and Monday, I just got some much needed rest. Like normally I just have so much going on, even on my days off, that this was the first weekend that I did absolutely nothing.
That's beautiful.
All Sunday, I just laid in bed. I watched Korean dramas and I watched anime. And really, I did nothing. I just wanted just a good old fancy, like, me time.
I love that. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people take for granted, like, doing nothing. It's like, oh, I didn't even do anything today. But the older I get, like, being able to do nothing, that is a luxury. Just to just relax and just to really enjoy yourself.
Yeah, that's part of, like, that's part of self-care, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, with us and, like, keeping up with our social media or doing side hustles, like things like a day off can get kind of past us. Yeah. So to be able to just sit down and watch TV and numb out was just honestly a pleasure of mine.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This weekend I also have nothing planned. Maybe, you know, I'll do nothing again, or maybe I'll go out to lunch with some friends. Who knows? But either way, I'm gonna enjoy myself.
I love that. I did a lot, but overall I had a really good weekend. I'm back into fitness. So my best friend, she's getting married next month, and I'm the maid of honor, and I'm super excited. I've actually never been a maid of honor before, so I don't know what that entails, but that just means like just do everything and anything you can to support the bride.
100%. Yeah.
That's what it means. And I'm like, okay, I'm happy to do it. So I want to get back into shape because your girl was just enjoying and eating her best life. So I've gotten back into fitness. We
were eating a lot of fried chicken over the past few weeks as well.
Yeah, we have. So every week before we watch Pooch Perfect, we're eating fried chicken.
Yeah. And mainly it's like Korean food on the menu.
Yeah, it's Korean fried chicken. If you guys never tried Korean fried chicken, you need to. Good. Sometimes it's double fried. It's coated in sauce. Sometimes it's like the dry sauce. It's so freaking good. And it's different. And I love how every different like culture has their own version of fried chicken. Yeah. I just love me some fried chicken.
In Japan, so KFC is quite huge in Japan, and it's nothing like KFC here. So if you ever travel to Japan, you have to try KFC. I know as a tourist, you're like, oh, I don't want to try anything Americanized. Yeah. But I'm telling you, if you go to Japan, try KFC, try McDonald's, try Wendy's, because the menu is completely different. At KFC in Japan, the chicken is crispier. It tastes different. It's just like a delicious meal. It's so good.
You're a delicious meal.
Well, thanks, babe. I like to think of myself as that as well.
And on that note, let's do our little ching.
Ching, 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 ching.
Cheers.
Tonight we're drinking vodka, y'all. I actually saw someone post on our comments saying we should drink like fruity soju.
Oh, fruity soju.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? What you guys don't know is we both go to work the next day.
Yeah, we do. So we can't go ham.
We can't go ham, but that'd be actually really fun. I would be down to take some like soju shots. Maybe we could do it in our last episode, like the finale, and kind of get a little bit like, you know, little lit. Yeah. Have you ever tried the grape soju?
No.
That
Well,
one's good.
I haven't tried the fruity ones, but on TikTok I saw this one recipe that looked really good. So it's a blended drink.
Okay.
And it's the yogurt soju.
Yes, that's actually really good. Yeah.
So the yogurt soju and then the the yakuruto.
Yeah.
Yakuruto drink.
Yeah.
And then you put that in there with some frozen strawberries and you blend that into a drink.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That is actually delicious. But I don't blend mine. What I do is I soak it overnight.
We should do that.
I'll do that for the finale with fried chicken.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Well, fuck that wedding diet.
Yeah. It's all about balance, right? Like, I don't like to say balance, but you know, just have everything you want moderately. Just live your best life.
Yeah. And you know what? Our best life was this week watching this episode.
This episode was everything. I had an emotional roller coaster. I didn't know if I wanted to cry.
Like
it was good. It was really good. I wanted to cry. I literally laughed. My eyelashes almost fell off. Every time I thought about this certain dog when we get into, I kept laughing and I literally snorted. Like, you know, when you laugh so freaking hard, you start like snorting, and then like you had a big laugh, and this is like probably my favorite episode ever so far.
It was just really sweet. Like, obviously, a lot of the contestants were going through so many emotions, but at the same time, like, it was such a heartfelt episode as well. Mm-hmm. So, for those of you that don't know, like, we couldn't shoot yesterday because Nadia had an audition, and so we watched the episode tonight, and we were recapping it all for the first time tonight, and we've seen all the Instagram posts saying, oh, last night's episode made me cry. And we're like, okay, what is going on? Like, I'm really excited to see what's happening. So let's get into it, right?
Let's totally get into it.
So as we start out, we know that this week's challenge is Disney, which is my favorite of all time. I'm so happy that it's a Disney challenge, but we'll get into that as a Disney challenge starts. The first Immunity Puppertunity challenge is called the Swap-A-Doodle challenge, where all of the assistants had to groom the dogs and not the groomers. And I was like, holy shit, this is an anxiety attack.
I was thinking, can some of them even groom? I was like, because it's crazy, because I thought some of them were groomers. Like, for instance, like Macy and Karina. And by the way, Karina, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry that we've been getting your name wrong.
Alyssa corrected us.
Yes. So, Karina, like, I thought she was a groomer the whole time. I did not know she did not groom, and she was just like a business partner, and she helps with nails and more prep work. Yeah. So it was really fun to see everyone's skill set this week.
Yeah, agreed. So it's like, yeah, I thought everyone else was groomers as well. And then obviously as like, if you're in the salon, like head bathers, like sometimes it is kind of that anxiety feeling when you have someone else take over your grooms. Yeah. But it was really cool to see everyone like step up and be that team support, because especially someone who owns a grooming salon, you do have to be that that leader, right? And you have to be able to guide either your assistants or your employees so they can be their best versions of themselves. But sometimes that can just be such a nerve-wracking thing, and especially on a TV show. And so I just have to like give props to everyone, all the groomers out there that were, well, not all groomers out there, all the groomers.
They could be future groomers to be, and we have some groomers in there, like Jordan. Yeah. But honestly, before we get started, I just want to tell each and every person who did this challenge as an assistant, you guys did freaking amazing. You guys were really all a winner for me, to be honest. I was really proud of each and every one of you guys, and you guys freaking killed it.
They did. Like, especially for the ones that have never groomed before. Yeah. And to see what they could do, I was like, wow, that's really cool to see. And maybe it even like sparked a little flame in them to be like, oh, maybe I want to groom. But at the same time, like, have a little appreciation for what the groomers do on a daily basis, because obviously if you work with the groomer, you're most likely the one like scheduling their appointments, or you just might be doing daily operations. And so you don't really know like the nitty gritty of it. You see it with your eyes, but you don't know like the hard work that goes into it. The the carpal tunnel in the hands or bad backs, like they don't understand, and the pressure, right, of having dogs out on time. So I'm sure they felt all those things that we go through on a daily basis.
Totally. Just even like for scissor work too, like what angle am I supposed to do? Like, when you first start grooming, you're like, am I even doing this right? Am I supposed to hold my shears like this way or that way?
Yeah.
I totally agree. And what's crazy when watching this challenge? I know so many people, when you work with coworkers and you get to know people in the industry, how they got started. Some of the groomers I used to work with, my past coworkers, they told me that they learned how to groom because the groomer called out or the groomer quit, and they were a bather and they just picked up the shears and just had to jump right in. And that's how their grooming career started. And I know there's probably a lot of groomers out there who are going to be listening to this in the future, and I think that's freaking amazing. I mean, we all start from somewhere, and it's we're all students, always forever in training. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel that. Thank you for saying that. Well, if we're going to jump in, we're going to first start with Deb and Jordan. Well, actually, we're going to switch the name around. We have Jordan and Deb.
And now we have Jordan to the stage. Jordan, what are you going to do today on your Yorkie poo?
Oh, okay. Was it a Yorkie poo?
Yeah, it was like a Yorkie poo mix.
Yeah, well, first off, I have to say, like, Jordan, like, I was so surprised. He said he had 3 years of experience of grooming, and honestly, that finishing work was really well done. When I saw the after, I was like, oh snap, Jordan, you could have been doing this the whole time, just kind of booty bumped mom out of the way and be like, move mom, new groomer coming through,
new groomer alert.
Yeah, so I thought he did a really, really good job with his dog, and he was talking about being the second generation groomer. He grew up seeing his mom groom at the age of 9.
Right.
And it's like, I understand how that feels, Jordan. I'm a second generation groomer too. My mom's a dog groomer. In my case, I didn't see her growing up groom, even though she was a groomer while I was young, but she quit. And then when we moved to America, she went to high-end retail, but she got back into grooming when I was 18. Wow. And when I was 18, I was like, oh, I didn't know that this was a career path. And I always wanted to do something creative. And me as a 14-year-old emo kid, I was always doing hair in my bathroom and cutting all of my like friends' hair. And as I turned 18 in college and didn't know necessarily what I wanted to do, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try dog grooming, and I got into it and I fell in love with it. So really this career path is thanks to my mom. So I really kind of like felt that story with Jordan that he was telling.
Dang, can we get a little like fist pump for like Deb, or like a little chest pump, like
a little like Wolf of Wall Street
moment? Yeah. Jordan, I don't know even where to begin. By the way, I was so shook when I saw Jordan's dog. I'm like, oh my gosh, he can groom. So we have a cute little Yorkie poo. He did a little drop coat. The dog's name was Tiger, and he put a little orange tiger striped feather in the ear. I thought it was a really cute accent. He did a really cute face, and his scissor work was really nice. And I love the story that he wants to continue his mom's legacy because she worked so hard.
Right.
And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Deb. Deb, you did your damn freaking thing, making Jordan a beautiful groomer. Like seriously, I was so impressed. And also it was hilarious because Jordan was bossing his mom around. He's like, and he was like a doctor, like under surgery. Scissors. Yeah. So he's like, comb, get the anti-static spray. And she's like, this is the only time you can ever like boss me around and do something like that. Yeah. I'm like, okay, Deb. Yeah. So next we have Josh. Josh is now going to be grooming instead of Philip, and Josh is like, Philip's a little bit of a control freak, and he's like freaking out. They also had a Yorkie poo, and what I loved about Josh's dog, the first thing I noticed, like, oh my gosh, he kept the eyelashes on. The eyelashes were long on the dog, and you guys know I'm like an eyelash queen.
Yeah.
The dog had a really cute round face, and it had a pink flower top knot.
Yeah.
And the body
the curls too. Those
Oh,
curls
yeah.
are beautiful.
Yes, he curled the ears. It was really, really cute. The body wasn't bad, but for the first time, like honestly,
Yeah.
I was really impressed. The face was super cute with the curls.
Well, he also like had column legs on the dog, which is like
Mhm.
very impressive to do as a first time groomer. Like so many clients ask, "Oh, can I get the little lammy legs or like the
Mhm.
column legs?"
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do because you have to scissor that, right? You don't just
Right.
like leave it there. But I
Mhm.
thought he did a really, really good job at trying to attempt to do column legs on a little Shih Tzu Yorkie thing with a straight coat. That's not easy to do.
No, it wasn't. And it's crazy because Josh was telling his little backstory before he met Philip. He said he never really was a dog person.
Yeah.
And that's crazy
Well,
to
you
think
gonna
that.
learn today.
You gotta learn today, boy.
You know, that's what Philip said. He's like, you don't like dogs. You gonna learn today. I don't know if that's why that's my Philip's voice. Maybe.
Dudunch. Okay, so who do we have next?
So next we have Alyssa and Justin. So I'm sorry, we're gonna switch it up and reverse it. We have Justin and Alyssa. Justin has never groomed a dog before, and he's so nervous. He doesn't want to disappoint Alyssa.
He just wants
you
to
know?
support her goals and dreams too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And really, at the end of the day, when I saw that after work, I was like, whoa, dude, look at that, like, nice finishing work on that, like, clipper. Like,
Yeah.
they had, like, the spotted dog, and
Mhm.
maybe it was, like, a 2-comb or a 1-comb or something like
Yeah.
that. That's groomer language for half an inch all over or 3/8 of an inch all over.
Okay.
And it was just, like, a really nice body clipper work, and I was like, you go, Justin. I see you. You did not disappoint Alyssa.
No, he did not.
Mhm.
Justin, I am so proud of you. Like you guys know, like, okay, you guys know I'm Team Gabriel and Monsi. However, as I'm watching this show as a
Love
first
me some
timer,
Alyssa.
yeah, I love Alyssa and Justin so much. So to see Justin step it up and shine and like pull through for his girl, like, we got this. It was so amazing. He did have very great clipper work, really smooth finish. His Shih Tzu poodle mix had like a sumo type top knot. It had a kind of like a bearded collie type like face, like the
Yeah.
beard vibe.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to hear his backstory that he started working at a factory first, and then long story short, he had to choose between working at a factory or helping Alyssa
In the store.
in the store for their mobile business. And then they were saying, you know, today's our 1-year anniversary for our business that we opened together. And it was just a really sweet story. And also it was really cute because for the first time, Alyssa just like looks at Justin like she was really proud of. She just looked at him like it was very sweet.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I think it was really hard because he mentioned that they opened their business like 5 weeks before the pandemic.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's hard for any business. Like, we all went through this pandemic together, right? And to open up a business 5 weeks before that and something so tragic happening to where, I don't know, I know you live in Illinois. I don't know what the restrictions were there. Like, if you had to close, and like how like detrimental that is for a new business to close immediately after weeks of opening. And then him being in a position where he had to choose between, you know, his girlfriend's livelihood or his. It's just like, that's a really hard place to be in. And for him to like choose Alyssa, and I'm just like, oh,
I know.
my heart.
I know. He's like, it's either choose my job or her dreams. And he's like, I made the right decision. I was like, I need to find me a man like that who's going to support my dreams and be like, fuck my dreams. I got you, babe, with your dreams, because you're the money maker. You're going to be the breadwinner. You're going to do it, babe. You're going to do it for us. You're going to do it for our dogs.
Fuck my dreams. That's so funny.
Justin, I'm really proud of you. The only one critique I do have, and I understand this is your first time, you still killed it.
Yeah.
I wish you would have just trimmed eyebrows or like the visor a little bit. The
yeah.
visor, because it had like a really cute top knot. I'm like, oh, but maybe he was just scared of the shears. I don't know what happened, but all in all, still a great job.
Yeah.
That's my only one critique.
Yeah. And you know what? The face is a hard thing to do, and especially on a coat like that. But you killed that, bud. And so next we have Sarah and Risa. We find out that Sarah has known Risa for about 10 years. She was her receptionist. I legitimately thought Sarah was a groomer.
I did too. I didn't. That was actually a shocker.
She gives me groomer vibes.
She gives me groomer vibes too.
You know?
She's just kind of like undercover, and she's like a silent assassin. Like she's about to like freaking slay the dogs and grooming. Yeah, I was actually really surprised to find out that she wasn't a groomer.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, some people just give off those vibes, like groomer vibes.
Yeah,
and she gives that off, but she's not. And they had an Afghan, which is very hard to groom. Not only like to cut an Afghan, their coat is extremely soft. So it's like a wheaten coat where it's like very, very soft. There's not much like hard texture to it. The texture is just soft. And when you put a clipper through it, it's like you can immediately see lines in the dog. But Sarah, she was able to cut the Afghan's body really short and leave like flare legs, and I thought she did a really, really good job of making sure the body didn't look choppy, which
I agree.
I was like, okay, for someone that has never groomed before, that's really impressive, and I give you props for doing that. And plus, you pointed this out to me, and thank God we had the pause mode. She was like,
yeah,
like Nadia, she was like, bitch, look at that bow top knot. I was like, what bow top knot? And it was like, it had the Lady Gaga bow top knot.
It was like, yeah, exactly. And the second thing besides the bow, that like the lamb cut and the bow, I noticed was like, look at those feet. It was like a rounded feet.
Yeah, she hand scissored those.
She hand scissored it because like we said earlier, we were able to pause it, and like when we paused, I was like, oh my gosh, look at the feet. I'm like, I hope she scissored it. And then she like when we resumed the episode, she says she did scissor the feet. Great job, Sarah. It looked really good. I love the pink feather boa, and I thought you did so good for the first time. An Afghan hound is not easy to do, so well done. I have Monsi and Gabriel.
Hey.
And so, okay, last week's episode, I heard Rebel say Monse, and that got me thinking. I'm like, have I been saying her name wrong the whole time? So I actually DM'd her, and I asked, is it Monse or Monse? And she's like, Nadia, it's Monse. But I do think it's really cute that you say Monse, so you could call me Monse. But I've been corrected, so now I'm going to say Monse. But by introduction, I'm still going to say Gabriel and Monse, but then I will correct it by saying Monse. So they've been
a lot more posh as well. Monse.
It's very fancy.
Yeah, I will have to say.
So they've been working together for a year now, and it was really sweet because Gabriel was saying it's time for her to shine, and she always figures it out, and it's like she can do this. And I think it's so important to have a supportive boss. And if you are a business owner or you're a manager of some sort, I think it's really important that your employee or assistant, they feel very supported by you.
Yes.
Because when we're all starting off, no matter what kind of job we have, it doesn't have to be dog grooming related. I feel like we all have insecurities and we're always second guessing ourselves. So it's always nice to have a mentor and someone who's so supportive and nice, that challenges you and wants you to do really, really well.
I agree. And I think that's what Gabriel was doing the entire time for Monty, was just being that support system for her. And you can just really see him shine as a business owner and a mentor, especially on this episode. He was just letting her take the full reins, and he had 100% trust in her, which was really, really beautiful to see. And you know, I've seen Gabriel in his shop and how he treats his employees, and like I really, really look up to him in that sense. And it just kind of made me think back. Have you seen that show called Ted Lasso? It's on Apple TV.
No, I haven't.
Oh God, it's a really amazing TV show. So if you haven't watched it, it's on Apple TV. It's called Ted Lasso, and basically it's about Jason Sudeikis is a football coach, well, like soccer football coach, but he comes from America and he's coaching, a Europe, an English league, and he's just like this happy-go-lucky guy from Kansas teaching soccer, but the whole time you just see like what a optimist he is, and like how he really appreciates like teamwork and like really building like a solid foundation for a team. And that just really made me think of this episode, right? And of all these groomers teaching, either they're teaching their assistants, or which is either their friends or someone they work with, on how to groom. And you really have to be a caring and compassionate person in order to really be a mentor to someone. And Gabriel just has all those qualities, and I think that's why this episode was just like really, really heartfelt. And honestly, we can't be bitches on this round because it was just so good. It was so nice to see, and it's like a nice representation of this industry, right?
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree more. I totally agree. Gabriel is someone I definitely look up to, not only just as a person, but as a business owner. But you too, Arissa, the way you treat your staff, employees, you're always so professional. You're such a girl boss. And I really look up to you too. I feel like sometimes you don't get the credit that you deserve. Not that you need it or need the recognition, but I know how hard you work, and you really inspire me all the time, girl.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, boo. And you too. You're always on that hustle and grind.
It's so sweet. While watching this, I was like, oh, like this show was like really sweet to watch everyone's connection and rooting each other on for this challenge. But I was thinking like, oh my gosh, if this was like you and me, like on it, I would totally be crying. I would be a crier in this.
That cries every time Mufasa dies.
Dude, that's me too. So you're not the only one.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good to know.
We're some sensitive bitches up in here.
We are.
So let's go back to Monse.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, so she has a Lhasa Wheaton Terrier mix, and the final look, Monse,
that was Fonse.
That you did it, girl. It was so cute. I literally wrote on my notes, wow, such a good tight round feet. You scissored with perfection, so well blended. Love the Schnauzer blend. I love the Megan Thee Stallion zebra vibes, little bandana with a little mohawk moment. It was a good trim overall, good tail trim. Like, honestly, Monte, you killed this. Like, I'm actually really surprised to see you groom in this round, and you like blew my socks off. Like, well done. And well, you know what else is really interesting? Her style is very similar to mine. Like, she has like tight feet. Tight feet, which I love, but also with soft lines. So I really appreciate the sharpness with the soft contrast.
Oh, that's I like that little representation for you guys.
Yeah.
Because you know what, I was really impressed by the blending work on the terrier pattern.
Yeah.
So it's like so for those of you that aren't groomers, terrier pattern is like short on the body, well, the back, and then it's long on the skirt. And it was just like a really, really nice finish. And I thought she did a really good job on that dog, and it looked really cute. She got a lot of praise from Jorge, and honestly, at the end of the day, they all got a lot of praise, and they should have, because I think what each and every person did tonight is not easy to do at all. Like, how many times has a customer come in with a fucked up hairdo because they decided to get clippers from their local pet store and decided to groom a dog, right? It's not an easy job, guys. And I think that's what everyone has to realize. Like, people always say, oh my God, why is my dog's haircut more than my haircut? Well, bitch, it's because we're working on a live animal, and they're moving for one, and all hairstylists are artists. Like, just because we work on dogs doesn't mean anything less.
snaps all around.
Thank you.
And not only that, it takes more. I always say being a groomer is not just being a hairstylist and an artist. We're dog trainers. We're vet techs.
Yeah.
You know, we're so much more. And we're dealing with very sharp objects, whether it's clippers or scissors. And it's to do our job safely as possible on live animals.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So that was our PSA for the night. And we're going to go to our final contestant of the Immunity Puppertunity, which is Macy and Karina.
But we're going to flip it and reverse it.
Which is Karina and Macy.
Okay.
And Alyssa actually reached out to us to correct Karina's name because I was calling her Corinna, but it's Karina. So thank you, Alyssa, and sorry, Karina. I'm sure you guys are just so upset with us. Like, it's week 5, and like these bitches, which is me and you, can't get our fucking names right.
I know. Now we know it's Karina, and Karina, I have nothing but love for you, girl.
Yeah, and you did an amazing job on that air doodle. Like, I couldn't even, like, whenever they were doing like the little bits, I didn't see that they were doing an air doodle. Maybe it just like passed my mind. But then when the before and after came, I was like, ooh, an air doodle. And then when it did the little transformation, I was like, no way, she did that, and she's not a groomer. She's Macy's business partner, but she's not a groomer. I'm like, that's insane. Like, the body cut was just so well done, and the face, it was an Airedale face, but it was like a teddy bear-ish Airedale face, right? It was like a more of a pet trim.
Right.
And I just thought she did really well, and Macy did a really great job teaching as well, because there were like moments where like Macy was like, okay, you have to angle your scissors this way to cut at this angle. And I was like, oh, like that's so amazing, because it's so hard to teach people. Right? It's hard, and especially hard to teach someone that's never groomed before, and to have that like patience, and especially on a TV show, I'm sure for one, it's just nerve-wracking because you're on a time crunch. And I give a lot of respect to everyone on this round, because I know that had to be hard.
Yeah, they only had 2.5 hours to freaking finish it and to bathe the dogs.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
So it's basically you're taking 2.5 hours to teach someone how to groom.
Basically.
Yeah,
in a nutshell. And to piggyback off of you, Macy, you did such a great job being a great, not only business partner, but you're so supportive as a teacher. You know, it is not easy teaching. It's like you want to be as supportive as you can, but to remain calm and to like really to encourage people on their journey. It takes a lot of like patience and practice. It's like you want to step in, but you also don't want to be a helicopter parent either. You want each student or someone you're teaching to take their own journey. And I was so impressed how calm and what a good teacher Macy was. She was doing really amazing. And wow, Karina, you did amazing. I literally wrote, wow, how the fuck did she do this for the first time? That honestly, I have nothing but like huge notes. I wrote, the tail is nice and tight, the little nub. Love how she made the facial expression really stand out on the face. I loved how she shaved the ears. You know, as you guys know, for Airedale Terriers, we shave the ears and we scissor around the leather as tight as we can. Also, this is like really random, but I saw like the penis area on the Airedale when we like paused the show.
I noticed that too. I was like, look at that tight sanitary trim.
I know. I was like, that Brazilian wax is Brazilian wax, baby. Like, it's going on a vacation, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's showing all of the goods.
I know. I was like super impressed. And then I was like, wow, this is such a great like cut. I can't believe it's our first time. And then here comes the fucking bomb. Like, literally, my heart just dropped. So basically, Karina was talking about like before her 30th birthday, she is gene positive for Huntington disease. And Huntington disease is a combination of partial Parkinson's disease with ALS. So basically, and Alzheimer's. Thank you. Yeah. So basically, in the future, she would be put into a wheelchair, and then, you know, she was talking about her story, and it was very deep felt. And honestly, oh my gosh, it took everything what I had not to have, like, try not to cry in tears. Like, my eyes were like just watering. And when Karina was just talking about her being the business partner, she's like, Macy will take over the business, and she's gonna have to did she say, like, carry me through?
Well, it's just, I think in general, as you can tell, like, um, Karina and Macy, they do have this like really strong bond, and you
Mm-hmm.
can tell as business partners they're really there for each other.
Yeah.
And as much as this is Macy's dream, you can
Mm-hmm.
also see that it's Karina's
Mm-hmm.
life and dream as well, you know. So I think that their relationship is basically saying, like, you know, Macy's gonna have to do a lot of the heavy lifting in the long run.
Right.
And it was just obviously just a really pull at your strings kind of moment, because
Mm-hmm.
you see these like two really best friends just going through this competition like hand in hand, and
Yeah.
really helping each other out, and to know that someone who could possibly be wheelchair bound in the future, and like have that kind of like deadline on them, it can be devastating. But to also see Karina as such like a light, like throughout this whole competition, you just you see them just being just really positive
Mm-hmm.
and really looking forward to each moment, and
Yeah.
that in itself is just an amazing representation of who you should, one, like look up to in an industry
Yeah.
like this,
Mm-hmm.
but also just like as a human being, you know. And I
Yeah.
really respect that about Karina and Macy. And so like honestly, like both my claps go out to both of you for that, and for you, Karina, to share your story, because I know that's not an easy short story to tell. It's very vulnerable, and for
Yeah.
you to be able to do that is very powerful, and I'm sure that it's going to speak on many levels to
Mm-hmm.
um people that are diagnosed with the same disease as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I really thank you for putting that out there. And I hope that you're getting all the help that you can get. And, you know, if there are any charities to donate to, maybe give us a DM that
Yeah, let
we
us
can
know
put
any way we can
put it,
help.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can put it in our like story
Or
notes or
yeah,
something.
to even to cause awareness. I did not know what Huntington disease was actually until today. You know, I've heard of Parkinson, I've heard of Alzheimer's. ALS, I'm not very familiar with, but now this sparked my interest to getting to know that.
Hmm.
And I really love you guys as a duo, as friendship and partnerships. And both of you guys are very inspiring and very courageous and brave. And I really enjoyed watching you ladies, grow throughout this competition. And you guys have been one of my favorite like teams to also like watch. It's really hard because it's like you fall in love with each team. Like each team I'm like rooting for, but it's very special this bond between Karina and Macy that they have.
Yeah, 100%. And on that, we also find out that for this challenge, Karina is the winner. Well, Karina and
Yay!
Macy are the winner,
Congratulations.
which is really well deserved. And the judges say that there is no bottom three. But
Mm-hmm.
what is amazing is that we know that Karina and Macy are going to the quarterfinals.
Right.
So they are definitely taking that
Mm-hmm.
spot there. So in we'll see who gets to join them in the
Mm-hmm.
next round. But yeah, we couldn't really be bitchy bitches here. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're not like bitches anyways. Like at the end
Yeah.
of the day, I hope you guys know that this is a comedy podcast. This is all for like fun and giggles, right?
Right.
Not taking ourselves too seriously here, but like you really couldn't like say anything bad about this, because you can't like knock down someone who's really trying their hardest on their first attempt. And like of course it's their first time, where there are a few things here and there that
Mm-hmm.
can improve over time, obviously, but every single person like brought it and really put their hearts into it. So snaps.
Yeah, snaps. And to me, like, you know how each week we're like, who do you think was the winner? To me this week, everyone was actually the winner.
Yeah, for me it was Jordan. I thought he killed it.
Really?
Yeah,
you had one?
Jordan killed it. Well, Jordan and Karina, they really, really killed
They
it.
did. Honestly, for me, I didn't. I actually, everyone was my favorite because I'm actually, everyone put their vulnerability out there, and it takes a lot of courage to do your first time groom, for especially the ones who never touched it.
Yeah.
And also those of you guys who are newer groomers, I always talk about all the time, like, I love the newer groomers. You guys are the next generation. So I hope this inspires you guys to keep going, to keep evolving, and just to keep inspiring and is it aspiring and just be the best version of you. So don't ever give up. And I hope you guys can showcase your talent. It doesn't matter if you're on a national television show. For you, just making each and every dog beautiful and make them feel like a rock star going out, like, you guys are like the true winners out there.
100%.
100.
And now we're getting started with our second round. Cheers, bitch.
Cheers, bitch.
Ching ching, motherfuckers.
All
All
right,
right,
so excited.
This is the round we've been all waiting for, guys. This is the Disney round. I'm so excited for this round because this is ABC. We know that they're gonna do a Disney challenge. They do it on ABC. They do it on Dancing with the Stars. I don't know another show they do. I'm sure they do it on like American Idol. They have the Disney round. So now we have Pooch Perfect doing a Disney round, and I'm stoked. I'm a huge Disney fan. Nadia, what is your favorite Disney film?
That's hard, but the two that comes to mind that I can't really do a tiebreaker, it's Lion King and Lilo and Stitch.
Those are good. Lilo
Mhm.
Stitch is actually, it makes me cry.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
Disney movie makes me cry.
I agree. What is your favorite Disney movie?
So I'm gonna do new school and old school.
Okay.
So new school, I love Frozen.
Okay.
I love Frozen because that soundtrack is just phenomenal.
Okay.
I know every single song. Watch my Instagram because Nadia shot a video of me and my friend Sarah singing Love is an Open Door, and it's a 10 out of 10. It might be a 5 out of 10, but
Can you give us a little sneak peek?
Love is an open door.
That's beautiful, bitch. These pipes, though.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. I put that one on for you guys. So new school would be Frozen. Old school, God, that's hard. But I think growing up, I always watched Pocahontas. I loved Pocahontas.
Okay.
Just because, like, she was probably, like, other than Jasmine, she was, like, the first, like, brown princess.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, like, someone to look up to. Like,
that's beautiful.
a little thing about me. So I grew up ice skating. So that was, like, my...
I didn't know that. That's...
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I started ice skating because I went to go see Disney on Ice when I was younger. I was like maybe like 6 years old, and I saw Princess Jasmine skating, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to be when I grow up. That was my dream. Was to skate on Disney on Ice.
Wow.
And yeah, so I grew up as a figure skater. I never became Jasmine, but she was the main reason why I wanted to become a figure skater.
Bitch, for Halloween, we have to make your dreams come true. I want to be your Justin and be like, babe, look, I need to put you in a Jasmine costume, and we're going to go ice skating, and we're going to be like our little otters, and we're going to be swimming. We're going to on ice.
Will you be Raja?
I will be Raja. Oh, yeah. I always want to be a white Siberian tiger, so I'm down.
Well, he wasn't a white Siberian tiger.
But
he was definitely like an Indian tiger.
I will be the new school, and you're the old school Disney. So in the new school, Raja is a white Siberian tiger, okay?
True.
You know what's
Jasmine in the winter.
You know what else is so fun doing this podcast? I get to know Arissa as we go on this journey too. Like, just like going along with Pooch. Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm like, this bitch is seriously my twin, because remember I had told you like I wanted to be a figure skater too, but I wanted to be Olympic figure skater. So it's cool that you want to be a Disney on Ice, Jasmine, very specifically.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. Okay, sis.
Yeah, I know.
So cool.
I still go watch Disney on Ice, by the way.
I never went. I've always wanted
really
to.
Fun.
I'll go with you for the next one.
It's a really, really great show.
Let's do it. Maybe we could invite some of our groomer friends and all of our our girls from Sippin with My Bitches to also join, or men, you know, all of you guys.
Well, maybe ABC can hook us up with some tickets or something.
Yeah.
Do it.
Let's do this.
All right. Round 2, y'all. This is the Disney Dawgs Challenge. And so we always highlight the song that's played for the runway walk. And this week was like one of my all-time favorite artists. It's Halsey. And they played I'm Headed Straight for the Castle. And you're like, who is this? I'm like, it's Halsey, bitch. You got to get on that train. Halsey's amazing.
I never heard of her before.
Yeah. Well, she has her newest album is called Manic. So she's diagnosed bipolar, and this album is basically highlighting is not the right word, but this whole entire album is talking about like a manic episode and how she was possibly going through maybe she was going through a manic episode while writing this entire album.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. She's phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to check her out.
Shout out to Halsey.
Okay, Halsey,
and
I got you, girl.
Congratulations on your baby. I know you're pregnant.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check her out. I learn something new every day. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's get started with the Disney Dog Challenge. Would you like to start out, because our first contestant is Gabriel and Monse.
Yes. So Gabriel and Monse, they have a doodle, and Gabriel decides to do Hercules. And so as we watch Gabriel do Hercules, he says it's his first time carving a human face on the dog's body. And for those of you guys who are not groomers, it is extremely difficult to do these carvings and 3D cuts on top of the die execution, all of the jazz within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
And Gabriel said that Hercules was his first crush, and he related to Hercules.
What was your first Disney crush? Or who was your first Disney crush?
My first Disney crush? Oh. I really have to think about this. Sorry, can you go first while I think about it, please?
John Smith.
Oh, wow, from Pocahontas? Okay.
That's why I was like, ooh, he is sexy daddy.
Wow, okay. I think mine would have to probably be Beauty and the Beast, only because, like...
So there was something sexy about Beast.
Yeah.
Or was it the whole Stockholm Syndrome thing, like, I'm gonna lock this bitch in a tower and make her mine?
Basically. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just basically.
Someone is an S.
Maybe.
You
But
want an M, but you're
maybe.
an S.
Shh. Next episode.
We're talking all about the S&Ms, baby.
No, but I like the Beast because she got to really know the Beast for who he was, and he turned out to be a rich,
he got that
beautiful daddy.
Dick. That Beast dick.
Okay, so let's go back to freaking Gabriel and Monse, okay? So Gabriel, he actually started, everyone's very emotional from the first challenge, and they're very, like, this hits home because I'm sure, like, this is episode 5, they're on long hours on the sets, they're away from home, and I can't even imagine how hard it is. So Gabriel starts talking about how he misses his husband. He started to cry. Like and show like pictures like of him and Jeremy when they went to Disney in the background. It was so sweet. And I was like, bitch, I wish if I did have a husband, I wish he would cry that he missed me all the time. I'm like, that's so beautiful.
I know.
And
how funny would it be though, like even though it was Hercules, but instead it was Jeremy's face.
I'm dead. I mean, Jeremy does look like a modern day Hercules. Jeremy's body is beautiful.
And y'all seen the recent posts of like Jeremy and Gabriel? Because they're both posting pictures of them like just being so fine. And I'm like, hello, I might need to ex my boyfriend for these two boys.
We need to hop on the other side of the game. We might not be like straight anymore because all I see is body yaddy 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 yaddy.
Well, they don't want us. That's for sure.
And if you guys haven't checked out Gabriel's recent post, god damn.
Whoa.
What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Yo, drool.
Yeah,
Hashtag drool all day. Drooling on those nuts. God. Cancel us right now.
Or make sure you subscribe and you give us a good rating and love on us.
Yeah, so we can drool on this.
Okay, so back to the
grooming.
grooming.
Taking 5 stars for drooly nuts.
I mean, you do like balls. Remember we were talking about the other episode of balls?
I do not like balls. Maybe I just talk about balls, but I don't like them.
Everything around.
Whatever.
Okay, so let's go back to Gabriel's inspiration of Hercules.
Yeah, well, he did a bomb ass fucking
He did a great Hercules. Yeah. Okay, so first he did a turquoise mohawk and it also had a turquoise tail. He did an excellent job color blocking. I loved the 3D. It was like a cloud with lightning on it and the lightning was like popping out. The Hercules, the face was amazing, Gabriel. I'm really surprised you did that for the first time. The execution was great.
And the bicep, like the Hercules was doing one of these. If you're not watching, I'm like curling my muscles, which there are lack thereof because I've had 2 ramens within the last week. I had ramen today, by the way. Again, I ate ramen the other day, hungover. But Hercules was curling his biceps, and I was like, yo, that is really amazing. And Jorge called Gabriel Muscle Bunny.
He did? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Muscle Bunny.
Can you do another Gabriel impersonation? Maybe for like Hercules? Anything you remember? Maybe.
Okay, so I'm going to do Hercules because Hercules is so hot. He reminds me of my husband, Jeremy.
Thanks, bitch. That was great. That was so great. And then Hercules, on his hair, he put a little like ribbon on there. There was like really attention to detail on this. Like, there was bling. The bling that he used, like he used it as like jewelry for Hercules, and they put a gold medal on the dog. Yeah. There was wings, like the Pegasus wings on the other side of the dog. And Gabriel also said that he released a Hercules because throughout his life he felt like he was seeking validation, just like Hercules. And I thought that was really, really interesting, and how beautiful it is to like share your vulnerability, because I'm sure anyone at one point in time wants to seek validation, just as like groomers too. It's like when you're a student or you're newer groomer in the beginning, you're like, does this look okay? And you want validation from either your peers or your teacher or someone you look up to. So I could totally understand that feeling. It was very relatable to me.
Yeah, I did not catch that, but 100%. Just as creatives in general, we're just wanting to know that we're doing a good job, right?
Right.
But in my eyes, boo, you already Hercules, okay?
Zaddy.
All right, let's move on to the next, because we could talk about Gabriel and Hercules all day.
Jeremy too. Next.
All right, so next is Risa. Her Disney film is Bug's Life, which I love that movie, bitch. I know we laughed when we saw
I'm laughing because every time I think about the Bug's Life, it makes me laugh. I'm going to have to put my mic away because I'm going to be laughing again because it's so funny. Okay, go ahead, Arissa.
Yo, okay. I love the movie Bug's Life. It was like, do you not remember that scene in Bug's Life where the ladybug, he's like, look, oh no, it wasn't the ladybug, it was the caterpillar. He was like, look at me, I'm a pretty little butterfly. You don't remember that scene? Oh
I've watched Bug's Life maybe once or twice.
At Disneyland, they have the Bug's Life kind of section where like everything is like made out of to go takeaway food. Like, it's so creative and amazing, and I just love that movie. But when Reese's dog walked out, it was really funny because it was a bit over the top. And all I have to say, Reese, is like, maybe like a little less is more. It is. I loved that you did the pink face like Dot, because Dot has a pink face. Did I think it was excessive?
No, it was all purple.
No, I said pink. Yeah, purple face. But was it a little excessive? Yes. Did I love it? 100%. Just because it was just so out there. But I will have to say that ladybug on the back looked killer. I didn't really see the caterpillar on the legs. It was just a bit too over the top. It was a little over the top, but I appreciate the effort. I had quite a giggle though.
Oh my gosh, this was one of my favorites, but like the worst groom of the night for me. But it's one of my favorites. Not the worst groom, but it was like my technicality wise and execution. It was one of my least favorites. But I did love it because it made me so happy. It reminded me of like it made me I laughed so hard. I literally almost popped off my eyelash. Literally, I was in tears laughing. And every time I think about this dog, it makes me so happy. Literally, it was a Wheaton Terrier mix of some sort. And it's like you got like grape soda and you just poured it all over the dog's face. Yeah. The dog was just like bright purple, and it had the what is it called? The pipe as the antennas. The pipe cleaners on the antenna of the head. And then she said it was caterpillars, and at first I was like, what the fuck is that? Is that a corn husk on the leg? It reminds me of like a corn about to get peeled so I can eat some elotes, okay? But it was a caterpillar. I'm like, I don't see it. But one thing I did love, did love the ladybug, and I did like the collar. It was made out of fur, but it was leaves. And what I've noticed throughout the challenges, she's very good at creating the collar into some sort of like accessory of some sort. But I'm getting a little bit tired of it because I've seen in the last 3 episodes. So I want her to bring something else. I feel like she's still in her comfort zone. I feel like she is definitely growing and evolving as the show goes, but I would just like to see something different. But this groom, it really made me laugh. It made me giggle, and I was just so happy. And if I'm having a bad day, I want to look at that dog, just like Grandma. Like, okay, so Arissa she's on the first episode of Hot Dog, and that's how I met her. Mm-hmm. Her dog and Kinka, her mom's dog. And I call the dog Grandma. I don't remember exactly.
It's because it had like blush on and like flowers crown on the head, so I guess it just reminded her of Grandma. I liked the name. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, it looks like a little old lady grandma with like a little shawl. It's very sweet. So when I'm having like a bad day,
babushka.
Yeah, babushka. Like, so if I'm having a bad day, I would like to see Grandma, and also now the Bug's Life of Risa's art. So when I'm sad, I just look at that and I can just smile and be like, gosh, I love what I do and I love this kind of art.
Thanks, bitch. I appreciate that. That dog had glitter everywhere. You know what? It made me laugh. And thank you, Risa, for doing that.
Thank you, Risa and Sarah. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. But the next person that really just kind of like shook me to my core was Deb. Her Disney film was Brave, and the texture that she made on the hair of Merida is the main character, was just unbelievable, because like the rest of the dog had straight hair, right? And the dog itself was made into like a bear, and then on the other side was this amazing caricature of 3 bears. But was even more amazing was Merida's hair. So
yeah,
Disney, they wanted to make sure when they made Brave that the hair of Merida was almost like it was always moving. It was like kind of like the first time in cinematic history, I would believe, that the animation of hair just looked like real hair. And if you really watch that film, you can see like the movement of the curls, and that's why it was just cinematically just a really beautiful film. Was it the best Disney film ever? No. But cinematically it was really beautiful, and Deb really captured the hair of Merida, and it was so pretty. I had obviously she wet that coat. We said never to wet a coat, but she fucking wet that coat, and I fucking approve.
Okay.
Would you like to comment on those 3 bears because they were cute as fuck?
Yeah. So, guys who don't know, I actually never seen Brave before. I've seen what's her the main
Merida.
Merida. I've seen what she looks like, but I've never watched the movie myself. But when Deb was explaining the movie, she was saying, in the beginning, it was like a mother and like the 3 bears, and she has 3 sons, one being obviously Jordan, and that just kind of represented her family life, and she could relate to the story. So she had a doodle, and she was very, very what can I say? What's the word I'm looking for?
She was like an overprotective mother. Like the mother was like, "Don't put your elbows at the table. Don't do this." It was like that overbearing, like,
Thank you,
mother.
Yes. And also, I felt like she was like an overachiever in a good way because, in the short amount of time, I didn't get how many hours that they got. However, she wanted to do Merida.
Yeah.
Merida on one side and then the black bears on the other side. And just like what Arissa said, that, man, the hair was awesome. It was so intricate. And Deb, please
like
DM me.
Sushi carrot.
Yeah.
Like, or like, like the zucchini. What do you call it when you spiral zucchini?
Oh, spiral zucchini. Okay.
Yeah, but spiral carrots. That's
oh,
what it looked like.
It looked like roses to me. Maybe like a spiral carrot, like rose carrot or something. But it looked like roses because it was so intricate. Deb, I want you to DM me. I want to know how you did that. What texture? I would love to know.
That was beautiful.
I love Merida's like blue eyes. On the other side, my favorite also was like, besides her hair texture, was the 3 bears. Oh my gosh, the expression of these 3 bears.
So cute.
Different color eyes. It was just so amazing. And I just don't know how she had so much time to be so ambitious and do what she did. Amazing job, Deb and Jordan.
Overall, I thought it was a really, really great groom. And that it was spectacular.
It was amazing. It was one of my favorites of the nights too. And then Jorge said, "This is Disney."
Yeah, 100%.
So great job, guys.
So next we have Alyssa. Her movie of choice was Lilo and Stitch. Yeah! Can Stitch do the commentary?
I'm trying to do the intro.
Can you do a commentary in Stitch voice? So you take it over for Alyssa and Justin.
But you want me to do a Stitch in person?
Stitch voice.
Oh, the whole time?
Not the whole time. Just maybe like for the first minute.
Okay. Alyssa and Justin, that did Lilo and Stitch, which is me. They had a standard poodle. Paddle poodle. Justin looks definitely more comfortable in this round. Sorry guys, I couldn't do it. And Alyssa, sorry, Alyssa, I was trying to keep going, but then I couldn't help but to laugh. Like, but Alyssa, she definitely was an overachiever, just like Deb, and in a good way. Like, she wanted to accomplish so much on this standard poodle. She had so many different like aspects of it. But right before they show the final product, she does start to have a little bit of a panic attack. She started to doubt herself and she started to cry. And I was like, "Oh no, Alyssa, don't start crying again." I'm like, "No, not again." And then Justin, good old Justin, he's there. He's like, "No, we're gonna make
holding her while she's like making the fish.
Can we like, for the YouTube people, can we just, it's like, okay, so
she's like cutting the
Arissa,
goldfish.
This is Arissa, like playing Alyssa, and I'm Justin.
Yeah, she's just cutting the goldfish out of hair, and it was just like the sweetest scene.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
And on my notes I wrote, I'm like, their love language is physical touch and words of affirmation, because they always say 100%. Such like very
they both have the same love
language. Yes,
which is a really good thing for both partners to obviously share together,
because we all have different love languages.
Yeah, and it's hard when the other person has a different love language, because you express your love language the way that you want to receive love, right? And you don't give love the way that your partner necessarily wants it. You give it to them the way that you want it to be received, and it looks like they both have the same love language. And I was like, that's why they work so much.
Yeah, and that was beautifully well explained. Thanks, bitch. For those of you guys also who wants to like maybe read more up on it, it's called The 5 Love Languages by Gary Paulson, I believe. So you can like look that up too for more details. But also, like, they were playing A Whole New World.
A new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no or where to go. That's all that I was gonna do.
Yeah, that's really good.
Did you ever hear that like controversy where like Aladdin when before the whole new world starts, it was like, "Good girls take their dresses off,"
No, I've never seen
or
that.
something like that. It was something along the lines of that. Like he says something under his breath where he's just like, "Good girls take their clothes off."
In the actual movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard like in Disney movies, there's like hidden puns and stuff. Like it's a little bit like dirty, you know?
Yeah.
So
Supposedly
I'm gonna.
that was one of them. It was like
Ooh.
Aladdin will say, "Good girls take their clothes off."
Wow, I'm gonna have to check that out. No, I didn't know that. Okay. So when Alyssa and Justin's Lilo and Stitch came down the runway, it had the lays of the flowers around the neck. It was 3D. Do you wanna talk about this?
I actually do. That's
Okay,
why I
go
had
for
to
it.
interject because
Yeah.
I was really, really, really feeling this groom. I was really feeling this groom because the first thing I noticed were the lilies on the neck, and we know that Alyssa does good flowers. I think we've seen that
Amazing
like
flowers.
time and time again on this
Mhm.
on this season, and she's really good at flowers. And I know we've made comments about, oh, they do this too many times and I'm overseeing it, but I'm not overseeing Alyssa's flowers because each and every time she does such a beautiful job, and it just wows me that you can create such beautiful art out of dog hair.
Right.
And she does such an amazing job on those lilies, especially the fine little details, like the little buds inside of
exactly.
the flowers was really beautiful. But because we got to pause the episode, we got to see that the one of the inside legs was a palm tree.
Yeah.
But it was a palm tree inside and outside, right? Because one side of the dog was like a galaxy, right? And then that had the palm tree on it. But on the other side, from inside out, you saw that there was a palm tree. And then there was the waves, like the waves on the legs. It looked really well done and beautiful. And the one thing that just shook me to my core, and I can't believe she did this, which is so genius, was that she add hidden Mickeys throughout
that's
the
so
groom.
cool.
So one of the Mickeys were inside of the flowers. The second one was a diamond crested Mickey, and the third one was a coconut. Like how
In the palm trees.
Yes, like how amazing is that? Like Alyssa, you're so creative, and it's so fun to see what you come up with each week, because like we just don't know. We don't know what you're gonna do, and that's what's really exciting about Alyssa and Justin. Like their dynamic as a couple is obviously something that's really sweet to see. But overall, like I think we should really look at like how great of a groomer Alyssa is.
She's very innovative too.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
want to
said,
take like
looking for
a seminar with her or something.
I would. Okay, Alyssa, you have 2 students that are willing to learn. I'm definitely down. I'm not really even into creative, but I would be willing to learn from you if you bless us.
Yeah.
Can I comment and add on to that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So one thing that you did mention is like, yes, we all know Alyssa is very good with flowers, but what's different about Alyssa is each time her flowers are different. I've never seen her do like really the same flowers twice.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
different, which
Yeah.
I really appreciate.
You take a different approach to grooming that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of her, Lilo and Stitch, she did the galaxy too. Because in the movie they're like looking up at the stars, and I thought that was really cool. There was blue waves on the legs, and if you look at the waves, this is from a groomer standpoint. Technicality wise, she kind of scissored different, I guess, ridges, so it looks like waves. It has texture, like a 3D, but like ridges form. And the cutouts that she did with the 3D art of the waves, she added some black accent, so it was really, really cool. And
Yeah, just give
also,
it that dimension.
yeah, it was really, really cool. And then she put the little, like the hula dancers, they wear the little green leaves on their ankles. One of the dogs had that.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And then lastly, I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan. So in the waves, there was Pudge, the fish, because in the beginning, it's like in the beginning of Lilo and Stitch, like Lilo goes to her dance, and I'm so really Alyssa. If you watch this, I am Lilo too. Like I am like weird. I'm an outcast. People think I'm really cool, but no, I'm weird and an oddball out. Like my whole life, I always felt indifferent. I don't belong anywhere. So Lilo goes into her dance class, and he's like, the dance teacher's like, Lilo, why are you wet? She's like, here comes the diva attitude. She's like, I'm late because my sister ran out of peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And she said, why don't you give him tuna? Do you know what tuna is? It's fish. I can't give Pudge a tuna fish because we're out of peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's freaking fish. And the girl looks at her and she's like, you're crazy. And she's like, she looks at her, she's like, ah, and she goes fist fighting, and she like pounds the bitch on the floor. She's like, ah, ah, ah. And she's like, and then you know, like, she's just passionate. She was trying to do a good deed by giving Pudge the peanut butter fish, you know, instead of like traumatizing the poor boy with another fish, him being like a cannibal, you know. And then the teacher's like, the teacher was gonna punch her. She's like, I just want to dance. I just want to dance. And I'm like, damn, this is me. Like, it's like the best of my emotion. It's like you mean well, but the emotions get to you. And, you know, that's what I'm learning too, like to really be in self-control. And just
to add on to like the whole like Hawaiian theme, if I were to do this challenge, I probably would have done Moana.
Oh.
I love that movie. Also one of my favorite like newer Disney films. And my favorite character in Moana, which is a side character, is Hey Hey. Do you remember Hey Hey the chicken?
Yeah.
It was like the really, really dumb chicken. It was so cute. I want every Hey Hey doll. I think he's so cute. He had like the big beady eyes. And I would try and like make the dog into Hey Hey.
Okay.
Like if it was like a big fluffy dog, like make sure that the eye cutouts are like this big round circle and then put a little dot in the middle. That's why I loved Philip's characters, because it had the little dotty eyes. But we'll get to that.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, that's what I would make a Hey Hey.
I love that.
Of a dog.
You know what's so crazy? I was thinking the whole time too during this competition. I was like, what would I do for Disney? I actually wouldn't know. I think this is something I would actually have to think about. So I don't have an answer for you guys.
Maybe think about it while we keep going.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, we're going to continue on. And our next contestant, we have Philip, and his film was Little Mermaid. And he really resonated with Little Mermaid because, you know what? She is a ginger heroine, and so is she. I mean, so is he.
I know. I was surprised when he said ginger heroine. I'm like, did I hear this correctly? Can they say that on ABC? I was like, okay.
Why? A heroine means like a hero.
Oh, I was thinking the other kind of heroine. Sorry. No. Damn, my English is not good. No. I'm sorry. I don't speak English really well, but I can speak speech. Ohana means fabulous. Fabulous means no one gets left behind or forgotten.
A hero. And you know, because you know, and it's because Ariel, she doesn't conform to the norm, and you know, that's what Phil does. He doesn't conform to the norm. And you know, I loved Ariel too. That bitch was a hoarder, and I hoard certain shit like mail. I don't know why I hoard mail, but I do. It's a really bad problem that I have. It's because my mother used to hoard mail. She's like, you don't throw that away because you don't know what people are going to steal your identity or something like that.
You know what? Yeah, I could relate to that. Like, adulting is hard, right? In general. And it's like, what the fuck do you do with your mail? I actually have a paper shredder. I would invest in one. I have a paper shredder and I do shred all my mail, but I know what you mean. It's like, as adults, like, where did these mails even come from?
Yeah. And I have a bad problem of collecting boxes. Like, you know, when you buy products and you keep the box, I think that's an Asian thing too.
Oh, that's definitely an Asian thing. I know what you. I actually keep the box too. Yeah, because it's like even like my Apple EarPods, and
I still have the box.
Yeah, I have the box for it too. I don't know what it is. I agree with you.
Well, Phil, he was having a very stressed and overwhelming day for his grooming challenge. He storms off set because he was just really under the pressure. He felt like he couldn't finish the groom, what I thought was really beautiful to see, not beautiful to see, like cool to see, was when Phil was having a moment, Risa stepped in and helped Josh do a little bit of the haircut, and it just was like really sweet, like just seeing that, like that come together, because even though at the end of the day they're on opposite teams, they're still supporting and helping each other out, which I thought was a really cool thing. And guys, there was a moment um when they were showing Phil's groom and they did a screenshot of Ariel's face. Y'all, okay, so I have to show you it, for those of you that are listening to the podcast, you can't see what I'm about to show you, but for those of you watching the YouTube, you'll see what I'm about to show on the screen. So this face was, okay, it's a little blurry, but they do a screenshot. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram. But it was of Ariel's face, and it had these two beady eyes and these like big old pink lips that is in a shape of a O. And I kid you not, me and Nadia were just dying.
We were
of
laughing
laughter.
so hard. Arissa was like, she like I was laughing
I
on the Bugs
love
Life.
them.
Arissa had her moment and she was laughing.
I love them. So his groom, I thought they were all like really nice colors. I really loved the mermaid tail, but overall, I loved the facial expressions on each of the face. There was like there's Flounder with the beady eyes, and then you had Ariel with the beady eyes. There might have been another character with beady eyes.
What was a purple thing?
I don't know.
Oh, was that the
maybe a jellyfish?
No, babe. Little Mermaid. It's the Ursula.
Oh, was it Ursula? It was Ursula with the beady eyes. And I'm telling you, those beady eyes were the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in my life. They're so cute. I want like a plush doll made of those beady-eyed Ariel characters. My God, I love them. You can take it on next. You can talk about it next. I don't care. Phil, I loved those characters. They were so cute.
So I beg to differ. I feel like his faces could have been a little bit more detailed because everyone is stepping up to the plate. However, one of my favorite parts was actually not his groom. I think for me personally, Phil was in the bottom 3 for me this week, even though I had a lot of like giggles and I loved how his dog made me feel with the faces. When the dog was walking down the runway, it literally looked like it was like a floating white Bichon head. It's just like walking.
Yeah. It was like a little cloud in the ocean.
Yeah, it was so cute. And one last thing I do like about his groom is Ariel, she had a mustache like above her lip. It was like a black line. I was like, what is that?
Oh my God, I didn't see
I was
that.
like, this Ariel, she's butch.
I did not see that. Either way, I want a plush toy of each character that was on his dog. So Phil, if you can make that happen for me, you will make my day. But let's go to our last contestant.
Okay.
And our last contestant is Macy and Karina. They chose the movie Frozen, which I've already said that is one of my favorite newer Disney films. I just think it's a really beautiful story, and the reason they chose that film was because of these two sisters overcoming so much throughout their journey in the film, and that's they really resonated with that story, and I just thought it was like a really a beautiful representation of their friendship.
Yeah.
And walking down the runway, you see the dog. It was like maybe like a poodle Bichon mix. It had one side, it had like the Elsa, the iconic Elsa braided hair.
Yeah.
And you saw like Elsa's cape, and it just looked so beautiful and elegant and delicate. And then on the other side, you had Anna's cape, which is like the more purple and blue cape,
Right.
And overall, like, it's kind of what Lisa said, right? It was just very delicate and beautiful, and I think they just did like a really, really, really good job.
Yeah, like Macy and Karina, they literally kill it every time, and their work is so freaking clean from a technical standpoint. It's very clean.
Very clean, yep.
Especially on the on the turquoise side is that for Elsa. Like the line work and the scissor work is so clean and it's very like less is more, but it's very, very well
Right.
executed. When you see this dog, you know this dog is a Disney character of Frozen. You
Yeah.
just know right off the bat. And I loved how they incorporated like extension with the ears, pigtails to make it that Elsa like essence to it. This dog looked freaking rich. One of my other favorite parts, the little details like the snowflakes and the crystals on the legs, is like three-dimensional like pop art to me.
Mm-hmm.
And this face with scissors so cute. And then Jorge, he literally said "me gusta."
Yeah. And he also said that this could be like a toy that Disney would sell, right?
Exactly.
And I thought that was like a really, really great compliment. And like just overall, like like you said, Macy and Karina's grooms, they're always so well executed and well, like the finishing work is really beautiful.
Mhm.
I know there've been a like maybe like one or two dogs where we're
Mhm.
like, okay, like I don't see it as much for the theme. I think the last week's theme, when it was the Mutt Gala, they did like the retro look. I
Mhm.
didn't really see the retro look,
Right.
but overall, like that groom was really, the finish was beautiful. And that's
Mhm.
one thing about Macy that we all know, right? Like we know that she's always going to deliver
Mhm.
on just how well balanced the dog is going to look. But overall, I really, really like this groom. I thought they did a really great job.
I did too. Honestly, this whether it was a first challenge or the second, the Puppertunity, immunity, or this like the second, what's the second round called?
uh Disney dog.
No, it's called
Second, you mean the first one?
no. It's the ultimate challenge.
The ultimate challenge, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like on both challenges, everyone did really amazing. I really have nothing really bad to say. Honestly, I love this is my favorite episode by far. And I felt like everyone did a really good job. It's
Yeah.
been really hard to like usually I'll have like a favorite, but it's been really hard to choose for this one for me.
Well, you know,
Personally.
because we're getting down to the best of the best, right? So
Mhm.
we're really just seeing the best contenders. And once it kind of gets down to this round, like we're stuck with all the people that we love. So we know
Right.
that they're just going to deliver on the good. So
Mhm.
so we know what we're going to get out of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
at the end of the day, like, you know, this is a competition. We are going for the gold. And honestly, I'm really excited to see what else these groomers are going to have to show.
Yeah, let me tell you, whether I'm a groomer or not, I am a fan. I am invested. My heart and my emotions, I am invested into each and every one of these characters, and I'm like rooting for everyone. Like I'm such a fan of the show, and it's also such a great representation in the grooming community. It's the first time a grooming show has ever been on national television, and I'm like, what a great way to showcase the grooming community and show what we love to do every day. Us as an artist, and just to really take this career like seriously, and just to give the respect and I guess the recognition that we deserve, because it's like grooming has always been here. It's just never people haven't really shined the light on it.
Yeah, it's you know what, you're talking about something that was like said this week, right, by Gabriel. He's like, this is like
Yeah.
by you saying like this is the first time that grooming has been shown on a national scale, and it's not just something that some person named Sally does in her backyard. We're not just like clipping dogs, you know,
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
and shaving them and making them. It's not what it was few decades ago. Like this
Exactly.
is like this is an art, and especially what they're doing on Pooch Perfect now, it's creative grooming, right? So it's a whole different niche
Yeah.
of dog grooming.
Yeah.
You know, like these dogs are canvases, and I think it's really cool for America to see, like, yes, this isn't dog grooming that you would normally see in a salon,
Right.
but this is another aspect of dog grooming, right? And
Right.
within the industry. And I'm really happy that this show has kind of put a light on that. And overall, I think they all did a really great job. The winner of this challenge is
Alyssa.
And I was really happy because I loved that groom.
I did too.
So much. I thought it was just really beautiful. And like I said before, like she's just really just a talented and creative person.
I agree.
And she deserves that win. I'm really rooting her on in the next few episodes.
Me too. And it's crazy as I'm watching this episode, even though we're doing this podcast and everything, and it's like I'm so grateful to be connecting with these groomers also, like throughout like our Sippin' with my bitches like podcast. It's crazy. It's like, wow, like I'm really excited to see how Alyssa evolves and grows in her grooming career. Like even after this podcast and ABC Pooch Perfect is done, I'll be a forever fan because I want to see her evolve, and I feel like she's going to be someone really great, like how Angela Kumpe and Lori Craig and all these other previous like Dawn Omboy, like all these previous creative groomers have kind of paved the way for us newer groomers, right? So I feel like Alyssa's gonna also be like a pioneer for the next generation. So I'm really excited for her like growth. And one thing Justin did mention, he said, we're the first people that we won 2 Best in Shows in Pooch Perfect, and I think that's a very like something to be proud of.
Yeah,
that's,
for sure.
Yeah,
that's a really cool thing. So congratulations to you guys on that. And this week we find out that Phil and Josh go home, and you know what? I'm really sad because I really loved those characters again. I was like, no, not my favorite little beady-eyed characters.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like someone has to go home, right? Someone has to. It's not because their grooms were bad. It's just like
no, they weren't bad.
No, it wasn't. This one was hard. I couldn't make this decision myself.
Well, it's gonna get harder each week, right?
I know.
Like it's sad to know that like Alyssa might go home, or Gabriel might go home, Macy might go home. Like
that's true.
These are like kind of the top 3 contenders in my eyes.
Yeah,
you know. So
I'm just gonna cry if Gabriel or Alyssa goes home at this point. I don't know, but after hearing Karina's story with Macy, I don't know. I might be like, it's crazy. Like I'm very invested into each individual.
Right. And I think ABC is doing a good job
They're doing a very good job
of pulling our heartstrings on each of these individuals. So I think we're just gonna have to tune in next week to see what the challenges are, who stays, who goes. Because we were watching the recorded version, we did not get to see what next week episode was going to be about, but Gabriel did let us know it's about decades. So we don't know any more than that. So what I'm guessing is they maybe pick like a time, an era, maybe like the 60s, 70s. So that'll be really interesting to tune into. And I think next week we'll be back on our normal schedule, which is watching Pooch Perfect on a Tuesday and recording that same night, and hopefully having it out to you guys by Friday. I would like to have set schedules for you guys, like knowing like, hey, like our podcast comes out on a Thursday or a Friday. But like I've told you guys before, like we both work, and it's really hard to edit and work at the same time. So just have patience with us. Like it will get out there. It's always, our podcast is out always either on a Friday or Saturday night. This week's episode might be out more on a Saturday night just because we obviously filmed a day later. But we appreciate you guys sticking in there.
We love you so much. Yeah.
And we love you. We are now up on Apple Podcasts.
Yay.
So if you could rate us, give us 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah. Like you don't even have to write like a long comment. Just say, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah. Just show us some love and support. If you guys like this, you guys want us to continue.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate it if you guys could just take a minute out of your time just to show us some love. And we would really, really appreciate it.
Well, because really, at the end of the day, it's like, depending on how this series goes, it's really going to determine if we're going to continue sipping with my bitches, you know?
Right.
We want to give you guys great content, and me and Nadia were thinking after after Pooch Perfect airs that we would bring some of the contestants on and interview them, and then from there we would host maybe a podcast, kind of things related to grooming, things not related to grooming.
Mhm.
So it's really just chatting. Like we were thinking like a Groomers After Dark series,
Yeah.
where we talk about self-care, talk about sex,
Yes.
right? Because we all need a little loving in our lives to keep it going. So it's like we're not just groomers, we're human beings. So we need to talk about everything that encompasses our lives, and that's what we want to bring with Sippin' with my bitches. We want to talk that shit. We want to be your new bitchy best friends. Like we're in your ear we want to be in your ear every week. So if you can rate us, subscribe us, that's going to let us know if we can continue.
Period.
Yeah.
And on that note,
thank you, bitches. We love you, and
happy sippin', bitches. Love you guys.